Hello, welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott, and today I'm going to show you how we're going to do the V-split with a twist. As you'll notice, I'm using a cardboard stencil, which is approximately 3 inches wide by 4 inches long. And so depending on the size tumbler that you're working with, you're going to want to go ahead and measure the circumference and make your own stencil so that it fits according to the tumbler size in which you're using. So I'm going to cut out 6 of my triangle shapes, 3 for the bottom and 3 for the top. Once you have all 6 of your shapes cut out, we're now ready to place it on the tumbler. You'll notice this gives me a little bit of grief, but nothing serious, but that's really because I'm truly focusing on trying to keep this off the bottom rim just a little bit. So this is not difficult, it's just we're working with an awkward piece of vinyl. So once I manipulate this the way that I want it, you'll notice that I pull back from the tip of the triangle as far back as I can go without actually removing this vinyl piece off the tumbler. But this way I can press from the center and work my way out to prevent any wrinkles. Again, once you do this a couple of times, it gets real simple, I promise. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to lay the vinyl until I have all 6 pieces on my tumbler. When you get ready to apply the top 3 triangles to the top of the tumbler, again, we want to stay just off of that rim a little bit. Most importantly, you want to make sure you have your triangle tips lined up straight down the tumbler. So for my glitter application today, I'm actually going to be using a rose acrylic paint from Craft Smart, and I'm also going to be using my exclusive glitter from AB Designs, which is called Elegant. Now, because I'm super messy girl, I decided that I was going to go ahead and tape this off so that I could just have my way with the paint. You want to make sure this is thick enough because you'll notice I'm working with the stainless steel tumbler. So I do want to make sure that I have a solid application of paint before I apply this glitter. Once I have my cup completely glittered, I will go in and immediately remove the tape. I will allow this to dry for at least an hour before I go in with the clear seal from Rust-Oleum to seal it. Once that's completely dry, I will then move on to the first coat of epoxy. I really hope you are enjoying this video, and if so, please don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel for more tutorials coming soon. And don't forget to click the bell to get notifications. Once you have removed all of the tape from your tumbler, make sure you take some type of a soft bristle brush and remove all that excess glitter before you seal it. So I'm using Counterculture DIY's Fast Set for my first coat of epoxy. Now, because we have much cooler weather than normal here in Florida, I had to allow this to cure for at least 5 hours versus my typical 3. As with any coats of epoxy, make sure you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see. Once your tumbler is cured, we're now ready to go in for the final touches. I'm using the 3mm holographic nail tape from AB Designs to do my stripes. Oh, and now that we're at this stage, can you let me know down in the comments, when did you notice that my heart pattern was upside down? Now because I just said something, or when I first started prior to epoxy? Honestly, I'm kind of digging it because it gives this tumbler a lot of uniqueness, and the silly mistakes like this do happen, but it clearly doesn't take away from the real beauty of this tumbler. However, if this is something that would really bother you, make sure that you're very mindful of any pattern vinyls such as this to where things are not upside down. Either way, I still hope that you love this tumbler. I do have a demonstration of another tumbler at the end that it doesn't matter how the vinyl is placed, nothing is upside down. Okay, so moving on. You'll notice that I went ahead and taped off the bottom. Oh, here's the blue one I was talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the bottom just like I did with the splits. And I'm going to go ahead and glitter this bottom as well. Again, you want to make sure you have a nice solid coverage of paint in order to not have to repeat this step. And I've never actually done that, so I didn't know if it was going to be a hot mess, and I did not want to come in with Mod Podge. So I just made sure I had a nice coverage here at the bottom so I could paint once, glitter once, and then remove the tape. Just be very careful. As you know, we've just placed the nail tape. You wouldn't want it to lift. So when removing that tape, just take your time and be careful so you don't have any vinyl lifts. Or nail tape lifts, I mean. Once I got the glitter on here, I allowed this to also dry for approximately an hour. And then I took it out, sealed that. Once that was dry, this tumbler was ready for its second coat of epoxy. So once again, for this second coat of epoxy, I am going to be using the Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. This tumbler only took one final coat and it was completed. As a quick reminder, anytime you're using epoxy, make sure you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles that you may or may not be able to see. I want to thank you so much for watching, and be sure to find me on TikTok under Rebecca Escott, Facebook at Everything Tumbler Tutorials for continued learning. Remember, all links will be in the description for you below.